Good day everyone, I'm Hasmin Mangintas from BSN1 RM. So today I will talk about the Harry Sullivan, an influential American psychiatrist.
So who is Harry Sullivan's? Harry Sullivan's was born in Norwich, New York on February 21, 1892. As a child, he experienced a lot of social isolation, which may have contributed to his later interest in the field of psychiatry, particularly in understanding how human relationships affect of mental health. So Sullivan's graduated from Maria Union School and spent 2 years of Cornell University, beginning in 1909, later in 1917. He earned his medical degree from the Chicago College of Medicine and Surgery. So between 1925 and 1929, Sullivan worked at Shepherd Pratt Hospital, where he treated the schizophrenic patient. At the time, his methods were considered experimental, but they later became important contribution to modern psychiatry.
So the next is a definition of transactional analysis. So transactional analysis, often called the TA, is a method of understanding people's behavior by looking at the transaction or interaction that happen between them. In simple terms, it studies how people communicate and why they act the way they do in social situations. This approach is based on the belief that people can change and that everyone deserves to be accepted and valued for who they are. It is not just about analyzing behavior, it is also about helping people to grow and connect with others healthier way.
So now let's talk about the Harry Sullivan's transactional analysis and his major writings. So Sullivan was the founder of the William Alonzo White Institute as well as the journal Psychiatry, which he established in 1937. He focused on the importance of interpersonal relationship, meaning the way people interact and connect with one another, and how this experience shape a person's personality and mental health. Sullivan believed that our current life experience play a key role in understanding psychological problems. He is the base known as his interpersonal theory, which emphasized that mental health is deeply influenced by our relationship and social environment. Suddenly, Sullivan passed away on January 14, 1949, in Paris, France. Some of his most well-known writing is The Interpersonal Theory of Psychiatry in 1937, The Conception of Modern Psychiatry in 1947 to 1966, The Schizophrenia as a Human Process in 1964, and A Personal Pathology in 1933 to 1972. Through these works of Sullivan's help us shape the modern understanding of psychiatry and the human side of mental illness. So Harry Sullivan developed the concept of developmental epochs to explain how personality changes and grows throughout our lives. Like other theories of his time, Sullivan believed that personality develops in stage. He emphasized the importance of friendship and human connection, saying that relationships are essential for healthy development. Sullivan also believed that our social skills act as a bridge to greater growth and personal enrichment. In simple terms, he taught us that who we become depend largely on the relationship we build and the connection we maintain. So the next is 7 developmental stage. Harry Sullivan proposed 7 developmental stage that explain how our personality grows through our social experiment. Each stage involves specific interpersonal challenge or task and specific types of interpersonal relationship. Personality change is not most likely during the transitional between stage. Personality continues to evolve from infancy through the adulthood. So the first is infancy. During infancy, which lasts from birth to about 18 months, development begins as babies start to form emotional bonds with their caregivers. Sullivan's believed this stage was important but gave it less focus on Freud did. At this age, babies learn trust through care and affection. For example, when a baby cries and parent picks them up, the baby starts to feel safe and learn that their needs will be met. The next is childhood, 18 months to 6 years old. Her language development becomes very important. Sullivan said that speech forms a foundation for all letters learning. When children start to talk, they can express their true ask for help and connect with others. For instance, when a child learns to say please or thank you, they start to build social skills and relationship with others. The next is juvenile and pre-adolescence. The juvenile stage from age to 6 to 9, children begins to expand their social world. They make more friends and learn important social skills like sharing, teamwork, and cooperation. Having playmates and healthy social interaction helps them feel included to confident. For example, when kids play group games at school, they learn how to turn and work together. The next is the pre-adolescence. From 9 to 12 years old, during this stage, close friendship becomes very important. Children begin to form deep and trusting relationships that help build self-esteem and prepare them for future relationships. For instance, having a best friend teach them loyalty, trust, and emotional support. In early adolescence, from 12 to 14 years old, friendship starts to include romantic feelings. Teenagers begin to develop interest in the opposite sex, and their sense of self-worth often depends on how interaction or accepted they feel. For example, a teen might feel more confident when they receive compliment or attention from their peers. Then the late adolescence from 12 to 21 years old. During this time, young people start to form their own identity and become more independent from their parents. They often face conflict between wanting freedom and still being under parental control. Relationships, both romantic and friendly, become deeper and more meaningful. For example, a young adult may start a serious relationship while also learning to make their own life decisions. The last is the adulthood. In this age, people focus on building a family, maintaining financial stability, and finding a rewarding career. For example, adults may work hard to support their family, plan for their children's future, or spend time with friends to relax after a busy week. Sullivan's believe the development continue throughout adulthood as people keep learning, working, and building connection with others.
The next is the goal of transactional analysis. So the goal of transactional analysis is help us to understand how people communicate and behave using these three ego states: the parent, adult, and the child. So the first goal is to make us aware of our personality structure, these three ego states. The second is help us notice both the spoken of hidden message in our communication. The third is to make us aware of which ego state and others are using during interaction. And the last is the TA aims to increase the chance of having smooth balance and positive communication called complementary transaction. So in this analysis, it helps us to understand ourselves and communicate others better.
The transactional analysis is primarily concerned with the following: the analysis of self-awareness. The relationships are composed and inter-self, self the core personality patterns which provide integration. Self-awareness is an important concept. It is described the self in terms of image, both conscious and the unconscious.
Ego plays an important role of human behavior. It is affect how we think, feel, and act. People communicate with each other through different ego states, which are the pattern of behavior. So there are the three main ego states: the parent, the adult, and the child. Each person has all three and they appear in different situations. A healthy person can move from one ego state to other as needed.
What is PAC or PAC? P stand for parent ego state, A stand for adult ego state, and C stand for child ego state. Ang parent ego state is a behavior, thoughts, and feelings we learn or copy from our parents or elders. Ito yung mga asal na damdamin at paniniwala na nagagaya natin mula sa ating mga magulang o nakakatanda. At ang adult ego state naman is a rational part of ourselves that thinks and makes decisions based on facts and present situations. Ito ang makatotohanang bahagi ng ating sarili na nagdesisyon base sa lohika at kasalukuyang sitwasyon. And last is a child ego state. Child ego state is a behaviors, emotions, and reaction that come from our childhood, such as being playful, afraid, or emotional. What is transactional analysis? Transactional analysis is a theory which operates of each of the following. Transactional analysis or TA is a theory that explains how people understand themselves and communicate with others. It was developed by Eric Berne and it focuses on three ego states that affects our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Transactional analysis is a theory of personality, a model of communications, study of repetitive patterns and behaviors. Transactional analysis has developed significantly beyond Berne's early theories, by Berne himself until his death in 1970, and since then by his followers and many current writers and experts. Transactional analysis has been explored and enhanced in different ways. Ang transactional analysis is used to understand how people interact or transactions. It helps improve communication, solve conflicts, and build better relationships by recognizing which ego state we or others using during conversations. What is script analysis? Script analysis in layman's view, a script is the text of play, motion picture, or a radio or TV program. In transactional analysis, is a person's life is compared to a play and the script is the text of the play. According to Eric Berne, a script is an ongoing program developed in early childhood under parental influence which directs the individual behavior in the most important aspect of his life. A script is a complete plan of living, offering prescriptions, permission, and structures which makes one winner or lose in life. In simple terms, script analysis helps people understand why they act a certain way by looking at the story they learned as children and give them a chance to change the story for a better life. Stroking. What is stroking? Stroking is an important aspect of the transactional analysis. The term stroke refers to giving some kind of recognition to others. People need stroke for their sense of survival and well-being on the job. Lack of stroking can have negative consequences both on physiological and psychological well-being of a person. In short, stroking helps people feel recognized and valued. Here's the three types of self. Number 1 is good me. Good me is a personification consists of experiences that are rewarded, which a child would sense a noticeable decrease of anxiety. This part develops when a child is rewarded or approved by others. It makes the child feel good and reduce anxiety. Number 2 is bad me. This is when a child is punished or disapproved of. and it increases anxiety and makes the child feel bad. And lastly is not me. Not me is refers to the unknown, depressed components of the self. This is hidden or unknown part of a person. It includes experiences that are too painful or scary, so they are repressed or forgotten. These three types of self show how our early experiences shape how we see ourselves and how we deal with feelings of approval, guilt, or fear. Sullivan's story. Sullivan's story talks about anxiety, self-esteem, and the self-system. This is how people protect themselves from feeling anxious and how they build confidence. Security operation. Security operation is a measure that the individual employs to reduce anxiety and enhance security. These are the action of ways a person uses to feel safe and reduce anxiety. For example, when someone feels nervous, they might avoid conflict or seek comfort from others. These actions help them feel more secure. Self-system. Self-system is the security operation an individual uses to defend against anxiety and ensure self-esteem. Self-system it means all the way a person protects themselves from anxiety and keeps their self-esteem strong. It's like a defense system and that helps someone feel confident and balanced even during stressful situations. Rule of transactional analysis in nursing professions. Transactional analysis or TA enables the managers and educators to aware about their ego states for the first time. Based on this awareness, they do feel the need for shifting ego states as per demand of the situations. It helps them to become aware of the effects of their communications or transactions with others and why and how its breaks are built. And here the four goals of transactional analysis. Number 1 is make you feel aware of your triadic personality structure. Number 2, increase awareness of your own ego state and the ego states of others. And number 3, be aware of both social and psychological message which exist communication transaction within. And number 4, increase the chance for complementary transaction. Benefits and utility of transactional analysis. Number 1, improve interpersonal communication. Number 2, source of positive energy. And number 3, understanding ego states. And number 4, motivation. And last is organizational development. In short explanation of the benefits and utility of transactional analysis is include improving communication with others, creating positive relationship, and understanding one's behavior through ego states. It also helps increase motivation and supports personal growth and organizational development.